Okay, without fail, every single in-person workshop I teach, when I ask the students what word they want to learn how to write first, it's always love. Everybody wants to be able to write I love you, and I'll be honest, love is one of the hardest words to write in calligraphy. Hey, I'm Becca with the Happy Ever Crafter, and in this video, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna show you 5 different ways in 5 different styles that you can write the words I love you so you can quickly use them on your projects. Let's jump right in. All right, so for this tutorial, I'm using Rhodia paper. This is a really nice grid pad paper. I really like using a grid pad because it gives you a little bit more guidance on where you're putting your strokes. And then I'm using a Tombow Fudono Suke. This is my favorite beginner pen, and I have a whole video about that. If you've never seen this pen before, definitely go check that out. But I'm gonna just show you how I write the words I love you in 5 different styles. Little disclaimer here, if you've never done calligraphy before and you're just trying to find this to write it on your own on a Valentine's Day card or something like that, you might struggle a little bit here because you really need to know how to use a brush pen. So again, I've got lots of videos on that kind of stuff. You can go check those out. But for this, I'm really talking to people who have done calligraphy before and just want to add a little bit of style to their work. So style number 1 is just going to be really classic calligraphy. So pretty basic here. Making sure everything stays on the same slant lines and is coming from the baseline all the way to the waistline every time. So in this style, I have a really classic style of O with the comma dot extending into the V and the comma dot extending into the U. And then the way that I do my V's, I use this little loop to connect the E. So that's a really common way that you can do that. I know a lot of people struggle with the V to E connection. So that's the way that I usually do it. Number 2, I'm gonna just start adding a little bit of a more modern flair to a similar sort of layout here. So I'm gonna change my upstroke a little bit and make the loop on my L a little bigger. I'm gonna do a more modern O, a more pointed V, again with that loop. Bigger loop on the bottom of the Y. Okay, so we're starting to look a little bit more bouncy in this second option. Number 3, I'm gonna do a really extended version. So I often see this on Valentine's Day cards. It looks really whimsical and cute. So really similar in terms of the strokes and the foundation of the word, but I'm just stretching it out a little bit. You can see right off the bat, my letter I is a little bit more stretched. And then just in between the letters, I'm spreading it out a little bit. Okay, so this is a really common way that people, a really common style that people use on their Valentine's Day cards. Number 4 is gonna be sort of a more condensed style, so a little bit more squished in and a little bit taller. And then my upstrokes are gonna be a little sharper. So just to show you what I mean, on the letter I, for example, I'm gonna do a pretty quick upstroke, and then my downstroke is slow, but when I get to the bottom, a quick upstroke again. And it gives you that little bit of style there. So same thing here. Bit of a stylized upstroke, and then a slower downstroke, quicker upstroke. See how everything looks a little bit heavier and a little more casual? Okay, so it's a little bit narrower, a little bit sharper, but it gives it a little bit of flair. And then number 5 is my personal favorite, where I'm actually gonna combine calligraphy with block lettering. So you can use a brush pen for the block lettering as well, or you can grab a second monoline pen. It's up to you. I'm just gonna do it with a brush pen because it's easy. But I'm basically gonna grab my favorite one of these, which is the second one here, the way I wrote love here, and I'm gonna add block letters to it for the I and U instead. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write the word love the way I like it. This could be anything for you if you like writing it in a different way, in your own style. And then I'm gonna do really simple block letters to write the words I and U at the bottom. And this is a really nice way that people like to use for greeting cards and stuff because it's a little more condensed. So I'm just really simply adding in the word I and then the word U centered down here as well. Now this isn't perfectly centered. I would probably spend a little more time getting that perfect. You could even do it with a pencil first. My I is pretty easy to center, but a little hack for getting the next word centered is to use the middle letter first. So if I put the O perfectly centered underneath the word love here, then it's really easy to add the Y and the U. So there you have it, 5 different ways to write the words I love you. I hope this helps you with whatever project you're working on. And if you need more calligraphy and lettering tutorials, I've got tons on the channel, so make sure you hit subscribe and check it out because I put 2 new videos out every single week. And I'll see you later.